following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
We're back!
We're back!
We're back! Welcome to wrong one. Sorry, hang on. There we go. Welcome to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We're presented by Belly Up Sports in association with Gozilla Media. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of your hosts. To my right is a man who returns from the great Commonwealth of Virginia. I gotta get it right. Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. It was a bit of ripping the Band-Aid off coming home. I had a fine night back after, driving back for about 9 hours. I did DoorDash some McDonald's, but let me tell you, going to work today was tough. So I'm very happy to be back in the seat doing this because it gave me something to look forward to. I'm back on the airwaves. No, I didn't move to Virginia. Maybe people were worried. But
hey, you know what though? I gotta say, when I went to Virginia back in early September, I almost didn't come back. So yeah. I get it. I get it. That's a great state, Virginia, lovely state. Shout out to the Commonwealth. Northern Virginia though. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good things, and where my friends are is a small town. But what I didn't realize about where they are is first of all, Langley is like right there. I'm not going to be ultra specific about it because I don't want to blow up their location on the show. But
no, don't dox them. We don't encourage doxing.
Langley is like pretty close. And then the other thing is they have a strong NASA presence down there. When I think of NASA, I think of Cape Canaveral or Houston. Obviously Houston, we have a problem. I was not aware of the NASA presence in Virginia. So that was something that I learned.
Well, I learned that Norfolk is the North American headquarters for NATO. So I learned that. So
I didn't know that. They got all sorts of things going on.
Yep, but now we're back in New York, and
yes,
it's New York. But anyway, we're here. So before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of this episode, meat and potatoes, I just want to remind you about our socials down here: Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It's at NoCredsREQ, Facebook.com/NoCredsREQ, YouTube.com /at NoCredsREQ. And what if you could do? If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to the show on all of our podcast, all of our live stream platforms.
Somebody's been cooking up a little graphics gumbo while I was away.
Oh yeah, my friend, cooking that gumbo, stirring that pot. On the podcast side, on the audio side, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, wherever you podcast. Also, would be kind and rate and review. 5 stars is the number of stars we would love for you to give us for the rating. Also, and leave a review. That'd be great. And no matter how gross or really nice it is, I may even read the review on the air. And because we're a live show most days, most times that we're on, unless we have our new segment, which is called 10 Good Minutes, whether it's by myself or with Dustin or one of us has a guest. Because we're live right now, engage with the show, leave a comment. And Dustin, I know you've waited 2 weeks to hear that beautiful, beautiful sound.
I have. Bated breath.
I'm going to lay it on you. Yep, that's right, because we're a live show. Or if you watch it on replay, engage with the show. We want your comments. So, We're going to talk about NFL Week 5, and we're going to start off with our biggest upset. Dustin, I know you're kind of chomping at the bit to talk about the biggest upset. What was the biggest upset in your mind this past week?
Oh, well, for me, and I didn't, full disclosure, I was on vacation. I was kind of in vacation mode. I didn't see as much football as I normally would have this week. But the game that most shocked me was the Buffalo Bills losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh,
Jaguar.
Jaguars.
And part of it, so I know that Buffalo's defense is a little banged up. Matt Milano, he got hurt. One of their corners, who escapes me, he's out for the season.
Tre'Davious White.
Yes, that's right. So Buffalo's got some injuries on defense. Von Miller came back in this game, but he was on like a limited snap count. But I still expected, the Jags have been struggling a little bit as of late. They've looked good at points, but it just seems like Trevor Lawrence doesn't have it doesn't seem like Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson have that offense humming the way it was last year. And I still thought that the Bills offense, I thought Gabe Davis would find a way to score a sneaky touchdown, as he has for the last couple of weeks, and be that number 2 receiver that Buffalo needs. And I thought that Buffalo's offense would be enough to overcome a Jaguars team that I think has underperformed a little bit to start the season. So that was the most shocking upset to me. And I have to wonder how much of it has to do with the fact that it seems like Shad Khan wants to make the Jaguars London's official team. He's from, if I'm not mistaken, is he from there or grew up there or something?
Yeah, he's of Pakistani descent.
Mm-hmm.
And he grew up in London.
Okay. So I was right about that, but you have to wonder what the NFL's plans are for London. But the travel, you have to wonder. The Jags have been over there for a bit now because they played the Falcons last week. So you have to wonder, and you don't make excuses for any team in football, but I would imagine the travel impacted Buffalo a little bit. So
yeah, I guess what happened was they didn't leave until Friday.
Yeah, which is surprising. You would have thought they would have left right after the Miami game, or at least soon after it, and then so they could at least have a walkthrough over there. But I don't know if the NFL wants to bring multiple teams to London, which Goodell kind of said in a press conference that they were exploring "quote unquote" opportunities. They would have to figure out this travel thing, because for whoever goes over there, it's rough. I mean, I can remember, and I could be wrong about this, but I thought the Bucks and Seahawks, when they played in Germany last year, I thought both teams were on the bye the week before, so they could kind of travel over there and have some time. To me, that would be the way that you have to do it.
So, I just want to dovetail out of football for a moment. If you're paying attention to the NLCS, the Phillies are, unless there is a monumental collapse in the bottom of the 8th, they're up 10-2 on the Atlanta Braves. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So there's that. I said I. I texted my brother. My brother Jeremy is a big Bills fan, and we talked about the. He says, "Oh man, this game is killing. There's no running game. There's no deep. Everybody's getting hurt on defense." And I had said to him, "Yeah, I guess those were." I was looking on social media. I noticed that somebody had said that the Bills didn't travel to London until Friday, and I guess it's a shorter trip for some teams. Like the East Coast teams, it's not a big deal. It's only about a 5 or 6 hour flight from wherever they are to London. So Buffalo would have had to probably connect in Toronto or New York or JFK or Newark and fly over to London. But yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand the logic of leaving on Friday instead of leaving on maybe Monday, giving the guys a day of rest, getting over there, getting established, having a full couple days of practice, a walkthrough on Friday, rest on Saturday, and then play on Sunday. I don't understand. I don't understand whose decision that was, whether it be Sean McDermott's or upper manage or Brandon Beane's. I don't know whose decision that was. I think that decision definitely backfired on them. And now Matt Milano is on IR, and so is Daquan Jones. So I think Matt Milano is out on. They're both on injured reserve. I don't know what the extent of the injury is. I heard it to be carted off. Matt Milano had to be carted off the field. So
yeah, I don't know.
Injury.
Yeah, I don't know 100%, but I think it was possibly a broken leg, and they're hoping that he didn't do something to his knee as well. But I'm not 100% sure about that. I might have to conduct
the week before, Tre'Davious White suffered he unfortunately tore his Achilles on a non-football contact injury. So
yeah,
those
are the worst ones.
But but here's the thing: it doesn't say that they're out for the season. It just says indefinitely. Daquan Jones has a pectoral injury, and Milano his leg. So I don't know if they didn't say the extent of the injuries. If anybody's watching can fill us in, let us know. It just said that they went to IR and they're out indefinitely. It didn't say how long, so it's very vague as to how long they're out for. So it doesn't really help us. Doesn't really help us as a podcast host. So as for me, my biggest upset was Thursday night when the Chicago Bears went into FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, and absolutely put a stomping. Stomped, in the words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, they stomped a mud hole in the Washington Commanders, or whatever they're called now.
Yes.
It was so bad that Magic Johnson ripped into the team publicly after that game, saying that basically that and I'm paraphrasing here, that there was no heart, the performance was off. It was a bad scene, and this was a team that this is the Washington Commanders team that this guy right here said was going to be a wild card team, along with the New York Giants. Thank you for disappointing me, New York Giants. You're a disappointment every single week now. So, but here's the one thing about it. Justin Fields, the last 2 weeks, Justin Fields has been on fire. Absolute fire, with the exception of that game-winning interception in that collapse against Denver. The Bears took the lead and never looked back, never trailed in this game. I did not expect that at all.
No, and DJ Moore, I mean, he was the number one target. He was what the Bears wanted him to be. And they shipped Les Claypool out of there after he's in Miami now. Or not Les Claypool, Chase Claypool. Jesus. Yeah, Les Claypool's he's eating grass somewhere. He's playing some silky bass lines.
He's playing some silky bass somewhere in Miami now. Trade from Chicago.
No, and what's even worse, I'm going to out myself right now. When I said Les Claypool in the eating grass thing, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. But I initially I shot to I got Les Miles is who I was thinking of, and then I was like, oh, geez. So I was my brain was misfiring. So Chase Claypool, they shipped him out of there. But
another magical moment live on No Credentials.
Shout out to you, Frank Wycheck, because always.
And Sam White, rest in peace.
But I assure you too, I had just gotten down to Virginia the night before. I'm sitting there, I'm hanging, I'm like, I got to set my fantasy lineup. And I said to myself, I'm going Anthony Richardson because Justin Fields, he burned me the last game. It won't happen again. Steam was coming out of my ears because Justin Fields, he balled out. He balled out in this game.
That he did. I consider it my upset of the week just because absolutely nobody expected this to happen. I don't think even Chicago Bears fan expected this to happen.
No, probably not. And weeks before, I was saying, the Commanders took because who was it? It was the Eagles. It was the Eagles that they kind of took down to the wire, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember. And then The week before that, we were talking about Jack Del Rio's defense finding their footing a little bit and taking a team to OT. I would have thought they would have been able to.
It was the Buccaneers. It was the Buccaneers that took down to the wire. And then
that's who they were taking
unfortunate
down.
thing that cost them points. So,
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
an upset for sure.
Sorry, Eagles fans. Don't mean to.
Sorry, Eagles fans.
I'm off here. I'm off right now.
That's okay. I think it was that DoorDash. I think it was that DoorDash McDonald's that did you in.
that might have done it. That might have done it.
All right, we're gonna move on to our biggest disappointment. I'm pretty sure that the both of us will be in agreement here, Dustin, that the Dallas Cowboys. Good Lord, they didn't show up in Santa Clara at all.
No.
And Dak Prescott throws 3 interceptions, but in fact, I heard that Dak Prescott threw his helmet in frustration, but it was intercepted and brought back for a touchdown. That's how bad of a game he had.
Man, this is why we have, and I'm guilty of it too this year. I came out the first 2 weeks of the seasons. I said the Dallas Cowboys defense looked like world beaters, and but this is why everybody.
Shout out Wise El Jefe.
How's it going? How's it going tonight, Wise? Now,
wait, hang on. I got to salute Wise with the appropriate PSA.
Yeah.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
That's still the best.
Had to do it.
It's still the best. And if you don't think that we're going to be using that all the way into next baseball season, we're going to use that all winter.
Yep. Especially with the Patriots playing the way they're playing. God almighty. All right, we got to continue bashing the Cowboys. Go ahead.
I don't want to, but this is why Cowboys fans always complain that their team we don't give Dak Prescott enough credit, too hard on Dak, and their team. They're elite. This is why Cowboys fans. This is why you can't always trust the Cowboys. What did I say at the beginning? Go all the way back to my first episode of this podcast when you asked in 2022. To preview the season, he said, how are the Cowboys going to do? And I said, the Cowboys are going to cowboy. This is what I meant. This is why they're one of the most mercurial teams in the NFL, and they have been for some time now. Now, it's not on the level of the Chargers, but it has permeated into Dallas's culture. This is what non-fans of the team expect every single year. And when Cowboys fans say you're not giving our team respect, this is why. When you say that you're hard on Dak, you want to tell us how good Dak is.
You said hard on.
Yeah.
Again.
You want to put up Dak Prescott's stats and be like, oh, he's better than this person.
Dak Prescott is a Hall of Famer.
He doesn't show up in the big games. I'm sorry.
No, he doesn't. And I said this, 3 weeks ago on this show? 4 weeks ago? Actually, no. It was 3 weeks ago when they played. 2 weeks. I should know it was 2 weeks ago. Oh my god, I can't remember. But anyway,
time is a circle.
I said this. Time is a circle. Time is a circle, and it's never ending. And we're all gonna be down that drain, the circle. Anyway. Woo! Existential moment.
That was Buddhist Ryan right there. That all life is suffering.
Yikes! All life is pain.
Yeah.
My lifestyle versus almost my death style.
Oh man!
Metallica on you.
Greatest unintentional comedy of all time. That documentary. Watch it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, 2 weeks ago on the same program, I said that the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles/San Diego Chargers, go back to San Diego, you jerks. Dean Spanos, go back to San Diego. I said that these two teams parallel each other in that they have so much talent, yet they disappoint. Both those teams disappointed last year. The Chargers surrendered that 27-0 lead in the wild card because Brandon Staley, the great Brandon Stalito and Lindo, or
the great Brandito, the great Brandon
Staleyfield, and his disappearing leads will be in Vegas soon enough.
Great Brandini.
The great Brandini. The great Stale Dini. But yeah, this team both teams have so much talent, and yet they disappoint. They never fail to disappoint. So with that, Dustin, I've got a new award. It's called the Slow Clap Award. We're gonna award it to these teams that disappoint every single week.
I will.
You get a slow clap for every disappointment.
Yeah, brilliant. Another thing you've been working on while I was away. I see.
Oh yeah. Wise says, try Dak's new cologne. Interception for those that don't want to score. And then Snowman Chicken in from Indiana. Hey, Snowman. Thanks for stopping by.
Man.
All right. We're moving on from biggest disappointment to most entertaining game. And I'm going to start with you, Dustin. What was the most entertaining game in your mind this week?
All right. Well, thanks again for starting with me, and I won't hog the mic this time. For reasons that people might not understand, and I will do my best to explain them a little bit. This Jets-Broncos game was extremely entertaining to me because remember last year we said the Broncos were like
Sean Payton's garbage?
Yeah. We said the Broncos were like a car crash, but we couldn't look away. But they were also so boring that they put us to sleep. They were on national games. It's the same team this year with a different coat of paint. They're a car crash that you can't look away because it is rapidly developing into a soap opera. You have two personalities. You have Sean Payton, who just, I'm convinced that Sean Payton thinks he's still one of the best coaches in the NFL. He just got spanked by a world beater defense. Breece Hall ran all over them. And as I've discussed before, largely, now I understand it's not 100%, but you wanted to talk about the bad coaching last year and all the stuff. You wanted to throw Nathaniel Hackett under the bus, some of which was deserved, but coaches don't usually do that to each other. That was like unwarranted attack. But the one thing Nathaniel Hackett had going good last year was that defense. That defense was for real. And you've taken, as I've said before, you've taken the same unit and they're trash now. They can't stop anybody. And also, Russ has looked mildly better under Sean Payton, but also he still is making these mistakes. It's almost like it's his first year. And I have been a big Russell Wilson apologist on this show, but even I, as a Seahawk fan, and I'm thankful for all he did in the city of Seattle, he's up on the podium and they ask him about the altercation that Sean Payton had on the sidelines with him. And Sean Payton's yelling at him, and Russell's like, oh, we just were trying to figure out how to move on and go to the next series and do the next play. That's not what happened. And you know it. Like, just give a moment of genuineness, Russell Wilson. You don't have to do the canned responses because everybody knows it's not going well. At the very least, just say there's things I have to work on. There's things I have to do. I don't know which one is worse. I know which person is going to win out in this power struggle because Russ is an older QB, and they gave him a boatload of money, but they also gave Sean Payton a boatload of money and had to execute a trade with the Saints. So Sean Payton's going to win that battle, that dumpster fire. But it was entertaining to see the Jets kind of get a modicum of revenge and kind of keep their season a little bit on the rails here. And also, I was rooting for them again because of Sean Payton's comments, and also because he just has this smug look on the sidelines. And I'm not trying to go in on Sean Payton here, but he was so disrespectful to Nathaniel Hackett, and then to turn around and you haven't done any better with this team. The Broncos have woefully underperformed, and you're trying your onside kicks. You're trying to get cute, but it was just nice to see. And also Zach Wilson quietly, He wasn't brilliant in this game, but he also made some key third down conversions when they needed him. He kept drives going. He did what he had to do a little bit.
Yep. And I'm going to read a quote. I posted this on my Twitter account, which you can see here in the headline here. It's at Who Is Ryan MCC on Twitter. So follow me. I try to be as entertaining as I can. But after the game, I posted this quote from July 28th, 2023, and it reads as follows. Boy, I really need to get some music.
Yeah. maybe find some.
At least I can find it. No.
This sounds meditational.
Let's try this. No.
Looking for the right vibe here.
I'm looking for the right vibe. How about this one? Ooh, there we go.
All right, yeah, here we go. Go in on it.
I quote, "It doesn't happen often where an NFL team or organization gets embarrassed, and that happened here. Part of it was their own fault, relative to spending so much effing time trying to win the offseason. The PR, the pomp and circumstance, marching people around, and all this stuff." Close quote. Hey, Pizzle stopping by saying, hey, Pizzle, what's going on?
Hey.
So yeah, that was nice to. All right, let me get rid of this music here. It was that one's called feeding the ducks, but literally that's what it says in StreamYard, feeding the ducks.
Nice.
But yeah, it was nice to get for Nathaniel Hackett to get that win, and I said to people on Snowman in the Morning on Monday, I said, listen, you take the hardest season of your life, get fired a few games before the season ends, you go somewhere else, and you have to go back to where you were last year and try to coach in the same environment where another coach disrespects you.
Mm-hmm.
You try doing that with your job, with your career. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And also, you don't have everyone who you intended to have. That's but credit to the staff. They have not made excuses. They're not sitting after each game, unless you have quotes that I don't. They're not sitting after each game and going, "Man, we really wish we had Aaron in here." They're playing.
Everyone's rallying around Zach Wilson, which was a much different story than last year when everyone wanted him off the team after what he did in New England. Mm-hmm. Everybody's rallying around him. Everybody loves it. It's the Flint Tropics. It's Jackie Love in the Flint in semi-pro with the Flint Tropics. Everybody love everybody. Everybody love everybody. So that's how it is with the Jets right now. And I'm if you missed Victory Monday, go watch it. Go listen to it. Me and Dan talked about the game, and we told Sean Payton to shut the F up. My most exciting game, my most entertaining game, I was catching it on Red Zone, was Falcons Titans. It was a defensive battle, although you could argue that both offenses weren't doing really great. But the Texans the Falcons defense is pretty solid. They went out and got Jesse Bates in the offseason to sign him to shore up that secondary. The Texans defense with D'Amico Ryans as their head coach, they're playing better than expected. And CJ Stroud, man, he is my early pick. I mean, 5 weeks. We're 5 weeks in. I get it. We got a long season. We got 12 games to go. But for my money, CJ Stroud is easily in my mind the rookie of the year, because he has taken control of this offense. He set the record for most pass attempts by a rookie without an interception. His streak is still going, by the way. Mm-hmm. And he led the Texans to what could have been the game-winning touchdown. They take the lead late. Then the Falcons drive down the field. They get within field goal range. Young Hui Koo kicks the game-winning field goal to seal it for the Falcons. And it came right down to the wire, which those kind of games I like. I like those kind of games. I don't like blowouts where You're just waiting, you're just praying for the game to end eventually. No, this was an entertaining game. I'm pretty sure. Shout out to our friend Stacey Morgan, who runs the Morgan Man podcast. He talks about the Eagles. Talks about the Dirty Birds, the Falcons, as well as Call of Duty League. So check out his podcast. I'm sure he'll cover it this week on his podcast and talk about the next game they have. But I'm sure he's in hog heaven right now. And I talked about it a couple weeks ago. The NFC South and the AFC South are low-key exciting races for the division, because you have at least 3 teams in each division who could win that division. I think it would rank the Texans up there as possible AFC South contenders. You could also mark the Falcons as NFC South contenders. So 2 teams are. I mean, the Texans are on the rise. You could say it's a transition year for them because it's the first year head coach. He's got his quarterback. He's also got his edge rusher and Will Anderson. Yep. He's a big difference maker too. So the Texans are a team to watch. I think they're a team that's slowly going on the rise. The Falcons, they're pretty good too. Although I would argue that Arthur Smith has to figure out how to get Kyle Pitts and Drake London, how to use them properly.
Yes.
Again, I know you talked about it too, Dustin, a few weeks ago about Arthur Smith's offense. You draft guys because you need to use them. Why aren't you using them?
Yeah, it continues to confound me, and I'm starting to wonder, because the Falcons are one of those teams. I feel for Falcons fans because it seems like they're always hanging around in games. It's always, if they win, it's going to come down to late, it seems. And that's tough to have to go through that each week. But I'm starting to wonder if Younghoe Koo is perhaps the best kicker in the NFL. He's part of it. He's a big reason why they won. Also, it seems to me that Desmond Ridder played much better this game, which also helped the Falcons win. I know he's struggled as of late. He looked a little better than he has, but I agree with you on everything you said about the Texans. DeMeco Ryans I hope they hang on to him and allow him a chance to build that team. And I'm not going to take an unmitigated shot at the Giants here, but it kind of is one.
Do it.
Everyone is bemoaning the fact that Daniel Jones has no offensive line. Well, the same is true for C.J. Stroud in Houston. Doesn't look like the Texans' offensive line is like, full of a bunch of Hall of Famers, okay? And he is doing just fine, and it's his first year.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully C.J. Stroud keeps it going for the rest of the year, and the Texans become a very surprising team. And DeMeco Ryans hopefully gets considered for Coach of the Year if he keeps up this pace. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a quick short break. When we come back, we'll talk about the rest of Week 5 in the NFL. So stick around for more No Credentials Required. Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets. That's right, folks. SeatGeek is now a premier sponsor for Belly Up Sports. Looking to get to a football game this year. Looking to get to it. Hockey season just started yesterday. Happy.
Oh, I know you're happy about that.
Oh, and breaking news. Connor Bedard, number 1 overall pick in this year's NHL draft, scored his first NHL goal just a few minutes ago. So congratulations to Connor Bedard on your first NHL goal. One of many.
Yeah.
Many.
Congrats, Connor number 2.
That's right. Right. And speaking of NHL, get yourself some tickets to an NHL game. I'm looking to go to a couple Devils games myself this year. Try to go to at least one. Try to go at least one. So I'm going to go to SeatGeek.com. I'm going to use promo code BellyUpSports and save $20 off my first order of $50 or more. And
Smart
I'm pretty
man.
sure, hey, that's how I do. That's how I do. But again, like the commercial said, that handsome guy in that commercial said, you can not only just get sports tickets, you can get concert tickets, comedy shows, Broadway musicals, anything that requires a ticket to get in, you can get on SeatGeek. So again, SeatGeek.com, use promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you'll save $20 off your first $50 or more order. We're going to move quickly along. Most notable performance. I'm going to take the lead on this one. Zach Moss. Who's Jonathan Taylor? Who's Jonathan Taylor? I earlier in the day, the day on Saturday, it was announced that Jonathan Taylor had signed a 3-year extension with the Indianapolis Colts, and they were bringing him along slowly. But Zach Moss, whoo, what a performance! 23 rushes, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns, as the Colts beat the Titans in a very important AFC South matchup. And I gotta give a shout out also to their defense. Defense had a not goal line stand, but they had a stand with inside their 20-yard line with about 5 minutes to go. And Derrick Henry gets the ball on 4th and 1. He's absolutely stuffed at the line. No gain. Colts bleed the clock. Game over. Mm-hmm. So Zach Moss was my most notable performance this week. And I guess 1A would also be the Colts defense for that stand on 4th and 1. Dustin, who was your most notable performance in Week 5 of the NFL?
Well, my most notable performance is a familiar name who finally showed up, and you could argue that it was because 2 familiar names for the team in Cincinnati finally showed up. But Jamar Chase, anytime you have 15 receptions for 192 yards and 3 TDs, you're going to catch my eye. Chase talks a little bit for my taste, but he's also talented enough to back it up. And this is one of those games where he showed why. And this is a big if Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase can find the connections that they've had in a previous season, the Bengals are going to go on a run. And that's a big if, though. But Jamar Chase gets the nod from me this week.
Yeah, I had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in our guys in our GNO league this week, and they were part of the reason why my team, the Breesful Easy Feeling, scored 200 points for the first time this year. I destroyed my nephew.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to my nephew Christian. Yeah. I beat him by 100.75 points.
Sorry, CJ Beast. Sorry about that one. But I can't talk.
Also not sorry.
I can't talk much because I left 46 points on my bench with Justin Fields and would have made my matchup a little closer, but I got trounced pretty good this week, especially with Anthony Richardson going out with injury very early in that Colts game. It is the Gardner Minshew show for the foreseeable future in Indy.
It's true. And that unfortunate injury. We're going to move on to the hottest individual take of the week. I'll start with you, Dustin. What's your hottest individual take of the week?
Well, and it might not be scorching hot, but it's my feeling. And this is big off the Jets game because I guess I'm into the soap opera of it all in Denver. The Russell Wilson-Sean Payton marriage is already a failure. Already. After all the investment, this will not end well. I don't know where Russ moves to, but I really think that Sean Payton is going to try to flex to stay in Denver, and I don't think he's thrilled with Russell Wilson. I don't think so. I don't think this is going to last, and I think Russ is perhaps playing somewhere else next season.
Yeah, I think he could be traded to the CFL, honestly. But or hey, the Albany Firebirds is the quarterback.
Oh man, I would be in line day one to get tickets if that could you imagine Russ running around on an arena field? That would be something.
Oh my gosh. He'd be getting yelled at by Darius Prince to throw him the damn ball. Oh my goodness. It would be a train wreck full of dumpster fires, but thank God Antonio Brown is not in this ownership group for the Albany Firebirds. All local guys. I'm going to try to get my buddy Jeff Levac on this program to talk about the team. He's the team president, so I'm going to try and get him on for 10 good minutes. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I call him a friend. I don't think he calls me a friend, though. So my hottest individual take of the week, and you're gonna people are going to call me a homer because I'm a Jets fan, but here's let's get down to brass tacks, all right? We have not only one, but two members of this New York Jets defense who could be all-pro this season. Linebacker Quincy Williams, who was a waiver wire pickup in 2020, and Bryce Huff, edge rusher Bryce Huff, who was an undrafted free agent in 2020. These guys have slowly become key members of this New York Jets defense that contained Russell Wilson for most of the game on Sunday. They look at one point. Listen, at one point on Sunday before the Broncos went on their feet on their drive to score that touchdown that got them within 3. Mm-hmm. They were held to 1 yard total in that second half. 1 total yard. And a large part of that had to do with Quincy Williams and Bryce Huff. Quincy Williams basically sealed the game for the Jets after causing the fumble, which became a scoop and score. Mm-hmm. And Bryce Huff has just been all over the place. And Brian Baldinger, Baldy's Breakdowns, he gave the nickname of Bugatti to Bryce Huff. He calls him Bugatti.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good one. But that's why this league can be great sometimes. You got for Seahawks fans this year, we all know the story of Jake Bobo, preseason darling, and he actually makes the team. People want the Bobo jersey.
Xavier Gipson. Yep. Same with the Jets.
Yep. You want, and then also, oh man, I had another one here. Oh, I mean, who could forget Puka Nacua coming seemingly out of nowhere to become one of the talks of the NFL. There's always somebody that comes out of nowhere, and especially with, when somebody gets picked up off waivers, you don't want to say it's the scrap heap, but they're on waivers for a reason. And these are the stories that I love, that somebody gets a chance with a new team, different scheme, different coaching staff, and it all clicks for them. And they show why they were drafted in the first place or in this league, why they get that undrafted free agent phone call. Yep. It's great.
Puka Nacua, another addition to the Breesful Easy Feeling. He scored 200. That scored 223.75 points in our league last week.
Well, and let's not forget old Brees himself. He got some points. He had that 74-yard run for a TD.
He's not on my team, though. He's not on my team. I was so angry when somebody else picked him up.
I thought you had him. See, that was the thing.
No, I just named the team Breesful Easy Feeling because I needed a Jets-related team name. Because last year I was the Florida State Seminole Vesicles.
Yes,
I need a clever name for this year. That
one, I always give you credit for Hey Darnold, though. That one sticks out for me.
I had to change it when Sam Darnold traded, though. That's why I changed it. I was so disappointed.
That was a good one.
I couldn't use that team name anymore.
See, that's why I didn't do it. And also, I've just been the chemical toilet for years, and so I'm just you
were previously the Pecan Sandies too.
Yes.
If you name those two references, good for you.
Yeah.
Before we go our next break, we got a comment from Wonka the Sane. Welcome back, buddy. He also commented on your 10 good minutes video as well. He said, it feels like I'm a fantasy football world leader in bench points every year. Better GM than coach, I guess. Audible sigh.
I'm with you there, Wonko. I'm with you. It's frustrating. Yeah. You try not to get frustrated, but you're like, man, seems like I'm making the wrong decision each week here.
Yeah, right. All right. When we come back, we're going to take another short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll talk about what we're looking forward to in week 6 of NFL action, so stay tuned. This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air-roasted, 100% money-back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off your order. That's right, folks. Support the show with fuel for the fearless. It's Invader Coffee. I just got my order of the K-Cups, and I got the seasonal blend, the pumpkin pecan blend. So I'm looking forward to trying that eventually. Probably try it this weekend. But I know, Dustin, you were lauding about, you were singing its praises the last time we were talking about Invader Coffee. Did you, do you end up getting your order yet with the pecan, the pumpkin pecan?
I did, and I'll be interested. Let me know what you think of it. But I can tell you that I ordered a fresh bag, and it arrived before my trip to Virginia. Now that's what I call service. So
right?
I said, well, I said I'm gonna bring this down to my friends in Virginia. They're both coffee drinkers. They love coffee, and it was a big hit with them. They were drinking it all week. They commented that they really liked it, and so I told them, I said, hey, hit up Invader Coffee. It's a great service, great website. And I did tell them, use the code and use our affiliate link.
Nice.
But they liked it.
But one thing I'm looking forward to after this month is that they're going to have the Christmas blends out. And the
yeah,
is one of my favorites. I can't wait to order it. But do yourself a favor, folks. Get yourself some of the best coffee out there. Link in the description below if you're on Facebook or on YouTube. It'll also be in the link. Will be in the description on the podcast site once we get that up and running. But use that. Use our affiliate link. Use promo code BELLYUP at checkout. You get 15% off your order. You might have to pay a little bit premium for shipping, but it'll be there in 2 days, and you'll be able to. And that's one of the great things about Invader Coffee is that it ships quick, gets to your house, you can enjoy it pretty much right away. So get yourself some K-Cups, get yourself some whole bean. I get the whole bean because I like the fresh ground. Having the fresh ground, but you can also get ground beet. You can also get it ground. Regardless, you're gonna enjoy this coffee. It's awesome. Shout out to Invader Coffee, veteran owned. So you're looking to support a veteran owned company? Go ahead and check out Invader Coffee. All right, we're gonna move on quickly to Week 6. What we're looking forward to, and Dustin, I'm going to hand it over to you for what you're looking forward to this week for the most intriguing matchup.
Well, it's my turn to say that that people are going to call me a homer, but I am most interested in this game. My most intriguing matchup is Seahawks-Bengals because I want to see which version of Joe Burrow shows up to that game. And I also want to see. Now, I know I said in my 10 good minutes, which I know some of you tuned in, so thank you for that. I said, I don't think the Seahawks defense is world beating, but I want to see how they do against a bit more of a high powered offense, because if Joe Burrow shows up and looks more like himself and looks like he's over that injury and he's able to drive the ball a little bit more, I am intrigued by this matchup. This is the one I'm going to be looking to mostly because I want to see how my Seahawks stack up here. And I want to see how the defense performs, especially those corners against an elite wide receiving core.
Yep. Yeah, for my most intriguing matchup, again, I'm going to be accused of being a homer too, but I got Jets-Eagles on my radar because I want to see if the Jets can finally beat the Eagles in the regular season. They're 0-12 lifetime against the Eagles in the regular season.
Man.
They've never beaten the Philadelphia Eagles. They got them at home. They're carrying a momentum from a great effort against Kansas City and a win in Denver. I want to see if how they defend I'm curious to see how they defend the tush push or the brotherly shove.
Yeah, that's
we were going to have to do a 10 good minutes about a debate about that, whether or not it should be banned from the league, because we got some people on social media saying, oh, the brotherly shove should be banned from the league. No, I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you there. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the Jets can do offensively against a very good Eagles defense. I'm looking forward to see what the our defense, the New
Yeah.
York defense can do against the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Now, from what I understand from looking at the stats, while the Eagles are one of the best teams in stopping the run, they're one of the worst teams in stopping the pass.
Mhm.
So I gotta wonder if the Jets are going to try to open up the playbook a little bit on the passing side and see if they can open up the run game using their passes like they did against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, did the Chiefs game earn Zach Wilson enough trust for them to do that?
Yeah,
We'll have
I
to see.
think it might. I think it might have. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And Wonko says 3 yards and a cloud of butts. That was a 72-yard run on Sunday for Breece Hall. That was the big run, returning to the scene of the crime and doing the exact same thing he did last year. He had a 68-yard run last year, and he had a 72-yard run in this game this past week. So yeah, Desperation City, Dustin. I'm gonna take charge. This I'm gonna go first. This one, I think. Patriots Raiders is going to be very desperate matchup because you got a very look. Listen, I never thought I'd see the day where I would never be so happy to see a New England Patriots team that is this bad.
Yeah,
Offensively, especially because you got Mac Jones, who's apparently his attitude is just so bad for this team. It's really toxic. On defense, you got 2 starters in Matt Judon and Christian Gonzalez. They're both out for the year with injuries. So they're playing the Raiders, who are coming off a win on Monday night. Now the Patriots are returning to the scene of the crime, where the Raiders eliminated them from playoff contention in 2022. If you remember that Jacoby Myers backwards pass to was supposed to be going to Mac Jones that got picked off by Chandler Jones, and Chandler Jones gave Mac Jones a stiff arm to hell on his way to scoring a touchdown and winning the game for the Raiders. So I'm curious to see which one of these teams is going to save their season on Sunday afternoon in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, that's both of these teams are they're in a straight, and one of them, I'll on one hand admonish myself and kind of congratulate myself, and then on the other hand I'm gonna say I got something totally wrong. I said that Bill O'Brien would bring stability to that Patriots offense. I said that he would figure out something with Mac Jones, but that has not happened. And then on the other side, I remember telling you, I said, what did Jimmy Garoppolo have around him in San Francisco? A whole mess of talent. What does he not have around him in Vegas? Not as much talent, but they still have some talented players. And in a spot of a little irony about this game, Jacoby Myers now playing for the Raiders.
Now Raider.
And he's doing very well too. So
Yeah.
It's interesting to see where both of these teams, the Raiders kind of are where I thought they'd be, to quote the dearly departed Dennis Green, but the Patriots are the surprising one for me, and I'm going to admit it a little bit. I'm taking a little pleasure in it because Patriots fans have been insufferable for a long time now.
That's true. I got into a debate with a Patriots fan who said the Dolphins managed to put up 70 against the Denver Broncos, and the Jets barely managed to put up 24. And I said, yeah, but a win's a win.
Yes, a win is a win.
It's still a win. All right, Dustin, who do you got for Desperation City for your side?
Oh, Desperation City for me is oh man, we kind of alluded to it earlier, but it's the meeting of the AFC and NFC equivalents of each other. It's the Cowboys Chargers, I believe.
The 2 most disappointing talented rosters playing against each other on Monday night. Oh man.
Can it get any more desperate? Because will Dak rebound? Will the Dallas defense show up? How will Brendan Staley figure out a way to lose this game if the Chargers lead early? There are so many questions surrounding this game. And also, will Austin Eckler play? He is saying that there's a 99.3% or whatever he said chance of appearing on Monday Night Football. But you get a little pause, because why didn't you just say 100? Wouldn't it be typical Chargers? He's like 99% on there, and then Austin Eckler does not play on Monday. Wouldn't that just add to the to the intrigue surrounding this game? But both teams need a win with the way things are going for them.
I hope both teams lose.
That would be. Oh, could you see if it ended in a tie? That would. That would be. That would be exactly.
The Case and Nate podcast checking in. Nate Nguyen, who's part of Belly Up Sports, he says Patriots fans deserve some misery just for a while after winning so many years. No, let the misery build. Let it build, please, and thank you. All right, moving on to our we would rather drink castor oil than watch this game. Dustin, I'm gonna have you lead off. Which game would you rather drink castor oil than watch?
All right, I'm going to apologize. I've got family members that are Giants fans. I know some Giants fans. One of my best friends is a Giant fan, but I'm sorry. The Bills are going to end this quick. Even with a depleted defense, even with their offense alone is going to be enough. And even with a depleted defense, I still think the Bills are going to get to Daniel Jones. They're going to get enough hits on him. I don't know if Saquon is playing in this game. I haven't kept a close enough eye on his health, but I don't think the wheels are coming off for Brian Daboll in the New York Giants. You wonder if he's going to be extra motivated to come back and beat his former team, but I just think Buffalo is going to be too much for Giants fans. This thing's going to be I'm sorry, Giants fans. This thing's going to be over early, in my opinion.
Yeah, and who knows if Daniel Jones is going to be healthy enough to play this week too. There were some suggestions on social media. I saw that if Daniel Jones should stay out the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that, but the problem is Tyrod is not exactly a picture of health,
Case and Nate podcast. We're tanking, baby. Woohoo! I'm pretty sure my oldest brother Jim would agree with you there. Yeah. All right, for my choice of drinking castor oil than watching this game, I'm going to apologize to my buddy A Pizzle here. But I'm going to say Dolphins Panthers. The Panthers are 0-5. They're not a very good team. And the Dolphins are already a 13.5 point favorite. It's not going to be ugly. It's not going to be fugly. It's going to be pug fugly. Okay. I would not be surprised if the Dolphins drop 70 on the Panthers, but I've seen weirder things happen. But this game's going to be ugly real quick. I say probably by the first quarter, it'll be at least 17-0. I could be wrong. I mean, weirder things have happened. It's any given Sunday. One team can win, one team can lose. Mm-hmm. But this Dolphins team is too fast. And even with Devon Achane out for a while now, he was put on IR this week. Unfortunately, it was a great story there. But they still have depth at running back with Jeff Wilson Jr. You still have Tyreek Hill. Still got Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm. Raheem Mostert.
This game's going to be a runaway real quick. Raheem Mostert. This game's going to be a runaway real quick. Out of hand real quick.
Yeah, and you can see with Coach McDaniels, you can see what he's trying to do with that. He's all speed, because let me give you, I shout out to the ESPN Fantasy Focus, the 06010. I got to shout them out because this is not my stat. I heard it on their show, but I was blown away when I heard it. Devon Achane is so fast that he is getting 9 yards per carry before he is even being contacted by anyone else. So he is almost getting a first down before anybody else even touches him, which shows you how fast he is. That's unbelievable. So that's Daniel. That's That's the coach's blueprint down there in Miami. Speed and more speed.
Walco chimes in with his rather drinking castor oil before rather than watching this game. Ravens Titans 9:30 a.m. Yuck. No thanks, NFL. All right, we're gonna move on to our last segment of the podcast, which is our player to watch in week 4. Actually, it's changed out to week 5. Sorry, my bad. It's week 5, not week 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
week
no,
6.
this is crazy.
God Almighty! This
Season's
is what happens.
moving.
This is what happens. Well, also this is what happens when we miss a week.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
We forget to change stuff.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, folks. We'll try to do better, but I can't promise. I think we're both in agreement here. Joe Burrow is our player to watch this week in week 6 because I want to see if last week's game against Arizona was an anomaly. I want to see if he can do this, if they can keep the momentum rolling. And remember, last year, this offensive line for the Bengals was absolute garbaggio, absolute trash. And all of a sudden, they picked it up in week 5.
Yeah,
protected Joe Burrow much better, and they went on that run where they won 10 games in a row, where they had that really historic run. Went up winning the AFC North. I want to see if we can do the same thing against this Seattle Seahawks defense. Well, you say, Dustin, they're not a world-beating defense, but they play good enough to keep them in games.
I feel like as you know, I'm trying to take my fan-colored glasses off here, but I do think that unit is improving. Last year they couldn't stop the run at all. They've shored that up a little bit. Can't stop the pass this year. But it seems like the unit is improving, and maybe that Giant game was what they needed as a confidence boost, because that was a dominant performance. And maybe they can carry the momentum over, but we'll see.
Yeah. So intriguing storylines heading into week 6 of the NFL. We're going to wrap things up here. Oh, one more. We have one more comment though from Walker the Saint. He says, curious how good the Browns D really is. 49ers will put that to the test. Well, you got to remember, Wonko, that they played the Ravens 2 weeks ago before their bye week, and the Ravens smashed them into the ground.
Yeah.
So I think the 49ers, seeing if Myles Garrett will come back. I guess he said he was gonna rest, and also it'll depend on how if Deshaun Watson comes back too, because he has he didn't play in week 4 against the Ravens. Oh, and my friend Kittim, she says, "Yay, sports ball!" Just in time for the ending.
Well, so, I hope that Deshaun Watson found time to get a massage.
Well, I was going to say that I thought he was out with a pulled groin, but it turns out he was out with a shoulder injury. I texted that to you in week 4. I was like, I thought I was out with a groin injury. Yeah. It turns out it was a shoulder injury. And Wonko says, thanks, guys. Great stuff. Thank you, Wonko.
Hey, thank you, Wonko.
I really do appreciate it. For everybody who stopped by, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
so
thanks
before
to everyone.
Yep, absolutely. Before we go, just want to let you know about our socials right down below: Twitter, Instagram, and the very scarcely used TikTok. It's at NoCredsREQ. Facebook.com/NoCredsREQ. YouTube.com/@NoCredsREQ. Just want a friendly reminder to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your enemies that we're here. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast on a myriad of podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, wherever you podcast. Rate and review 5 stars. There we go. 5 stars is the number of stars we prefer. You leave us for a rating. If you're able to leave a review, we'll read it on the air, no matter how gross or how awesome it is. So that'll do it for this edition of No Credits Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are presented by Belly Up Sports in association with Gozilla Media. For Dustin Henry, my name is Ryan McCarthy. We've been your hosts, and we'll see you here next week, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk about week 6 in the NFL. And until then, have a great night.
Good night, everybody.